Well, it's May, ladies and gentlemen. I figured there's no better thing to talk about than a coin that, quite honestly, can still be found out there in circulation. The best part is this 2007 Sacagawea dollar can be found in just about every conceivable grade, and you don't even need to send it out to a PCGS or NGC for grading. Now, it would certainly help to get the authentication, but now I might be getting ahead of myself. What exactly is so special about the coin that you see on screen before you? A 2007D. It's a Denver coin, obviously. This looks like your run-of-the-mill gold dollar that you come across, through either that soda machine at work or, at the bank. These gold dollars have traditionally been one of the most unloved, if not hated, coins in history. All right, they just don't appeal for whatever reason to a lot of the collecting public. However, this particular video right here might change the narrative a little bit for a lot of folks. People have come to ask, Blue Ridge, I want to see coins that I can find in pocket changer circulation that I don't necessarily have to grade. All right, I don't want to spend the money for grading. Sometimes it's not about the grading. You're absolutely right. You buy the coin before you buy the slab. In this particular instance, 2007 was a special year. All right, for a number of reasons. Okay, in this particular instance right here, we have the SAC dollar that also, if you guys remember, also came out the same time the very first presidential dollar coin in release. All right, and that's the George Washington. Again, even more hated was the presidential dollar series. So, the program went off okay. All right, it didn't set the world on fire. However, these coins made headlines. All right, predominantly because, we're talking about a full-on presidential series that followed on the heels of the state quarter program, one of the most successful jump starter programs in U.S. Mint history for new collectors. So they carried on with the success of that program by issuing many years worth of coins that somehow, some way, did not fit the demands of current collectors. All right, we just ended this long tenure in presidential dollar coins, and I'm glad to say that, thank God, it's finally over. So one of the things that people loved about these new coins is they had this edge lettering. All right, that has the pluribus unum, it's got the date, mint mark, and everything else you could think of. It's got a couple neat little stars on there to keep it patriotic for a lot of collectors, and would be, America's, top favorite status symbol out there. But the interesting aspect was that edge lettering. All right, so if we went back to the SAC dollar, there was some kind of overlap here. Okay, the overlap being you have edge lettering, presidential dollar coin, you have a SAC dollar without the edge lettering. Okay, but what if somehow there was a mint error which combined both? And in this case, we're talking about a SAC dollar that exhibits that very same edge lettering that you saw on the presidential dollar coins. How interesting would that be? Well, it was so interesting, and the concept felt like it was so real because it was a transitional point in U.S. coinage history. Okay, you have these SAC dollar coins that didn't have that at all, and then you had these new presidential dollar coin series with this new technology of edge lettering that somehow they believed that somewhere along the line there was bound to be a hiccup at the Mint in which one of these Native American dollars would exhibit the edge lettering. Okay, it's within realm of possibility. All right, so here's what they did in 2007. Much like today, where they had released this incredible $5,000 bounty on the very first 2019 West Point quarters. In 2007, they had announced a $10,000 bounty for the first ever 2007 SAC dollar with edge lettering. that was intended to be only for the presidential dollar series of coins. Sure enough, a short while later, someone had discovered the very first example, and the only example, as far as I could tell, as of this story. And we're talking 12 years later, ladies and gentlemen. Very first example of the 2007 SAC dollar with edge lettering finally was discovered. Okay, it was subsequently sent off to grading. Now, the grading part of it was the least important of it, because get this, okay, it graded Mint State 62 through PCGS at the time, which means it's a relatively low-grade Mint State coin, all right, low-grade enough that is changed hands a number of occasions out in commerce. People were spending this coin on that morning cup of Starbucks. Or perhaps they were going to the grocery store and they spent these. Or maybe it got passed through Coinstar a few dozen times. All in all, it has seen enough circulation that it only grades out 62. As you can see from that coin, there's not much to it. I mean, it looks like your run-of-the-mill SAC dollar. Very uninspiring indeed. However, this coin sold July 15th, 2012. So we're about 7 years removed from the sale of this coin. This one sold on Great Collections at the time for $17,161. Okay, let that kind of sink in, all right? It's a lot of money, Jesus. But not only did someone attain the $10,000 reward through PCGS for the very first graded example, it became the only example that ever existed of this coin, as far as I know. I don't think there was a second or third example ever found. Now, why is this significant today? Well, first and foremost, nobody's really touching these gold dollars. Nobody is even batting an eye to the gold dollars, whether they're the presidential or the Native American. Nobody's touching them. Nobody's really coin roll hunting them, except to find like a wounded eagle or missing edge lettering presidential dollar series. But people are not looking for a 2007 SAC dollar with edge lettering. Okay, this is really a renaissance moment for a lot of coin roll hunters out there, that this is within the realm of possibility. The really cool thing about this coin, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, is that it does not need to be graded. All right, it really doesn't. It's a coin that somehow, some way, it will sell for many thousands of dollars raw. Now, to maximize the full potential of the coin and the value, obviously sending it off to a PCGS, an NGC, or even Annex. I would even go as much as sending it to Annex if they will tag it as being a lettered edge error coin, and spending barely next to nothing for the submission fees. The only thing you have to pay for is the insurance at this point. But it would be paramount if you wanted to get all the money in the world for such a coin, that you would certainly send it off to a grader for the authentication aspect of it all. Because if that's on there and you have it graded and authenticated, then people will think and believe that this is truly a mint error, and it is. All right, and there's no thinking or believing about it. This is a coin that during its period was one other such transitional error. Some of us associate transitional errors as being, like for instance, the 1982 date of Lincoln cents. Okay, they went from copper bronze composition planchet blanks to a copper coated zinc. All right, the less desirable, and then somehow, some way, there is a 1983 that was struck in some of the previous older bronze planchets. It happens. There is a number of them that exist in the marketplace. This one right here is a phenomenal coin that I believe is ripe for the picking, because nobody is looking through these vault hoards. Okay, a lot of banks, if you ask them, do you have any of these gold dollars? Yeah, I have absolutely millions of rolls of these things and we can't get rid of them. Well, you might be a good prospect to pick up some rolls, maybe a bag, and go to town. Okay, among other things, you're going to look for the Wounded Eagle 2000 Philly. you're going to look for the missing edge lettering. Um, Presidential dollars, you got the doubled edge lettering in there as well. So it's not like you're just looking for this one specific honey hole coin right here. Okay, there's a lot more to it. So I wanted to bring this up today to kind of kick off May in a huge way. We're talking less about the graded aspect of a coin in this video, which is fun. I love finding coins that you could sell as is for a lot of money, and you guys can appreciate a nice error as much like this if you're an error collector. But this coin right here is just so gosh darn expensive that why wouldn't you want to just sell it and buy something that you truly love? I don't know. Some food for thought. I'm your host, Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join me this morning. This was a lot of fun. This was a fun topic. This is a coin that has, over the years, have fallen through the cracks in the lore of insane rarities. Okay, it is an insane rarities, but nobody knows about it. But that's why we're talking about it today. If you enjoyed today's content, go ahead and leave me a like. Feel free to share and subscribe this one on your favorite social media platform. And best of all, if you could go ahead and throw in a comment, let me know what you think of this coin. It's interesting, nonetheless, and it inspires another way of approaching coin roll hunting, where you could also find other coins that can make you, a little bit of money. Okay, this is a lot of money. It's not a little bit, but you kind of mix this in with all the other coins you would normally look at, and there you go. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So thank you guys again for joining in. Hope you guys have a wonderful beginning of your May month. And yeah, we're going to kick off summer here real soon. But in the meantime, go get yourself some gold dollars.